to Denis Montreal beer review. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You might see this video a few days later, but it's today. Not really celebrating this year, just really busy. I'll try to talk about what's happening with me as I review the beer. And the beer itself has nothing to do with the actual holiday, but I'll review that away. It's the Samuel Smith's Oatmeal Stout, and it's a classic example of this style of beer. I've had this for about like 4 months, but I didn't really want to review right away because I can't really get this on a regular basis. It was just a part of the gift set, which comes out about once a year in Ontario. And of course, I'm going to use my Samuel Smith's Tulip pint glass. What can I say about this beer? It's brewed in Tadcaster, Yorkshire. It's a 550 milliliter bottle, and it's 5% ABV. Very popular beer in the States, surprisingly, and apparently it's not that well distributed within the UK, so they're really focused on the exports, I guess. Either way, let's get reviewing this beer. Now, the main beer I'm going to compare this with is the St. Ambroise Oatmeal Stout, which is a great beer, but this is supposed to be a classic, so we're going to see which one is the better example of the style, of the superior oatmeal stout, if you will. Very dark, opaque, typical stout body to it, with a bit of light brown hue on the bottom of the glass, but overall it's a very dark brown or even black. The head is nice and caramel sort of coloured. Mixed size bubbles, you get both the small and the big ones. Oh yeah, really nice, rich roasted aroma, with a bit of that oatmeal kind of creaminess it adds to the beer. Fair amount of chocolate, a bit of a floral touch to it. Any fruits? Maybe a touch of like raisins, sultana, or something like that. But yeah, smells good, smells appropriate. Not much of a burnt. I mean, it's roasted sort of thing, but it's not overly roasted. Like St. Ambroise, I think it's a bit more to the burnt kind of side, tobacco-ish kind of thing. Let's give it a try now. Right from the start, I can tell you this much: this is much smoother and creamier than St. Ambroise, to be in a medium body. Very appropriate amounts of both the roasted maltiness, so the chocolate malts, and the sweetness with coffee and chocolate notes. And then it's a very smooth overall, the transitions from the roastiness to a touch of bitterness, some sweetness, and then I guess the aftertaste is more, yeah, you get some burnt kind of coffee, espresso beans at the back. But just like with Nut Brown Ale I reviewed first out of all of these Samuel Smith's beers, it's extremely smooth, and I can tell you that it's going to be drinkable. I can predict it pretty much. Excellent beer, top notch. So far it's the best, one of the best stouts I've had, and definitely the best oatmeal stout. I mean, I still love St. Ambroise, but I think this is, the classic sort of beats the interpretation. So yeah, I was going to say something about what's happening with my life, I guess. Tomorrow night, or even like afternoon, I'm not exactly sure, I'm going to the States for about 4 days or so. Should be back Monday night. I'm planning to film quite a few, probably short videos from the road. I'll start with a video sort of a pre-stage to my trip. Probably start right here, and then I'll sort of make updates from the road. There's a slight possibility I might stop by at Chad's in Albany, but I'm not really sure yet. But I will for sure meet up with Barry from Barry's Beer Reviews. We'll do a review together. I'll definitely stock up on some great craft beer. Since I'm finally 21, I can do it legally, and I'm bringing him some beer and some small gifts as well. Then I'm going to be, for the rest of the stay, I'll stick around my cousin. Might film a few videos, I'm not even sure, but you can pretty much expect me to bring back a good amount of interesting American beers, maybe some imports as well, ones I can't really get here. But yeah, it should be good. So this is probably the last video for this week. This beer is amazing. Let me take another sip. A true, English, creamy, balanced, really flavorful. any stout level. Like I think I can totally see why Jay from Jay's Beer Review really likes this beer. And by the way, shout out to Jay. He was the first one, I believe, that mentioned this beer. I'd seen him mention this beer before I heard anybody else talk about this beer. So great beer. Finally got to try it. Guys, this is just fantastic. I've never had. I think this is just. Let's put it that way. It's the best stout I've ever had. Seriously, just there's nothing is compromised in this beer. You get enough of everything, but there's just enough. It doesn't get boring, doesn't get overwhelming. It's just pretty much ideal. Like I'm definitely giving this a 10 out of 10. This is definitely better than I expected. I expected a good oatmeal stout, but this just blows my mind away. How flavorful there is. There's enough of sweetness. This nice roasted touch to it. A bit of that slightly burnt coffee at the back of the palate when you sort of swallow it, you get the aftertaste. Pretty good dark fruit notes actually. They come out to the surface. You get some sultana raisins, maybe a bit of prunes. Slightly sour, slightly bitter, slightly sweet. Everything's there, and definitely a really enjoyable beer. As far as drinkability, this is one of the most drinkable stouts I've ever had. This definitely beats Young's Double Chocolate Stout, because that was a slight disappointment for me. It's still a good beer, but this, that beer is slightly compromised, especially if you get it in a widget can, which I'm probably going to try in New York City. It's slightly thin, and it's slightly slightly less flavorful than you'd expect. But this beer, it's amazing. I think you get just as much chocolate in this one without the actual chocolate being added to the brew. The oatmeal actually adds a nice creamy texture to the beer. By no means this brings the taste down. So yeah, just great beer. The head's still sticking around. It's been a while, and some nice lacing. Yeah. I just made it my favorite in my list of beers. Sadly, I can't really get this beer, but I'm probably, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to buy some of this beer in New York City and bring some back, because it's just that good. So yeah, as far as oatmeal stouts go, this beats everything I've had. Even though, once again, St. Ambrose is really good still. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for Samuel Smith's Oatmeal Stout. And great beer. If you haven't had it, definitely I recommend this. 2 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up. I wish I had more hands for that. But yeah, great beer, guys. Stick to good beer. That's it for this episode. I'll see you